Lewis Hamilton has come out to say he's fitter than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a Rocky montage. I don't know if you saw his Instagram.
The video. He's ripped. I mean, he's fitter than ever. He has a new girlfriend. Probably everybody should get a Kim Kardashian before the season. He looks the part. He's ready for it.
You were in Bahrain. You've been nice. I want to get you in trouble. Give us the juicy gossip.
I mean, Fernando Alonso, our legendary Fox two-time world champion, he was so excited getting Adrian Newey on board, getting Lawrence Stroll, invest billions, this new state-of-the-art facility in England, but it all went wrong in Bahrain. I tried to give a fist bump to Fernando. I got like this really soft, like, yeah, whatever, mate.
I mean, this is, Robert, with the greatest of respects, this is Super Mario Karts.
Yeah, this is mega. This is too much.
Overtake mode, which has replaced DRS.
Yeah.
Boost mode, which is straight out of Super Mario Karts.
Banana mode, you can throw a banana as well. Piero Ferrari, he's the only living son still of Enzo Ferrari, of the legend. And he was there all 3 days.
Barry, and you got FaceTime with him.
We're ready. If it doesn't happen this year, then we have a big problem.
He said that?
Yes.
Okay, that's a bit of an exclusive. Well, would you believe it? It's that time of year. The Pit Talk podcast powered by Ithara, Robert Doornbos, Chris McHardy. I'm delighted we're back, Robert.
We're back, season 2. It doesn't seem that long, to be honest. That we spoke in Abu Dhabi
the
about the final race.
Waist.
Well, you have a Williams problem. I think you gained some weight over the winter. But Williams has to get rid of about 25 kilos before one.
It's not fat for me, Robert, to be fair.
But it's good to be back.
It is great to be back. We're in new surroundings for the start of season 2. I guess the reason for that being, let's talk about the elephant in the room. An awful lot going. Of course, we are broadcasting. We are recording this podcast in Dubai.
Yeah.
It has been a trying 72 to 96 hours. So we're in your beautiful office.
Yeah. I mean, Mille Miglia is definitely coming back. We love spending time in Mille Miglia. It's a great setting for a podcast, but due to the fact what's going on in the region, they closed their doors. But soon we'll be back. And then I found my office to be the perfect spot.
Life is good. We're clearly paying you too much for this podcast. This is a cracking spot. Just want to say, of course, our thoughts and our prayers with everyone across the Middle East. The show does go on, though.
Yeah.
From a Formula One perspective, confirmation they've said, yes, okay.
It's going to happen in Melbourne.
Wise,
logistics will be a challenge to get, because Dubai is definitely a hub for staff and machines and cars and anything to go through all the way to Melbourne. So good luck with that, Formula One, and hopefully it will be a smooth first weekend.
You and I have shared an awful lot of WhatsApps. There's an awful lot of buzz and excitement ahead of this new season. There's trepidation as well. Yeah. We're all unsure as to how it's going to pan out. I guess that makes it that little bit more exciting in a lot of ways. I'm an old man though, Robert.
You don't like change?
I do not like change.
No.
I'm as conservative as they come. That's not my politics leanings, by the way, but I am. I'm one of those that doesn't like change. You've been in Bahrain.
Yeah.
You're the man that gets flown in for those kind of things. I do not. I'm kind of on the outside looking in. Give us the kind of insight from what you've seen. Are the headlines and the quotes that we've seen as bad as a lot of them that I've come across?
Well, I think nobody likes change, but you all have to embrace it because it's all the same for everybody at the end of the day. What I did notice is that there's sort of a downtrend feeling between the drivers of, I don't really enjoy driving these cars. Formula One cars, they should be screaming, they should be on the limit, your heartbeat should be racing, and you should get out of the car and shaking your hands. And now they're out of the car, shaking their brains because you have to, there's so much to think about. Nowadays, these drivers have to use 70 functions while doing 300 kilometers an hour on the steering wheel, but they also have to understand now what the battery charge is done. On the straight, can you use it? Do you have enough battery on the straight? Is the engine gonna last? I mean, the difference between the various OEMs, it's quite big, to be honest. I mean, Mercedes built a rocket ship of an engine, but if we think about Honda, they're dead last. Who would have expected that?
We'll get to it all. There's an awful lot to unpack in this episode. Of course, as we build up to the opening race down under this weekend, little quiz question.
Oh my God, quiz questions. You like that, huh?
I want to know how much you know of the sport that you profess to love as much as you do. 12 months ago, I'm taking you back to Melbourne of 2025.
I was there, so I should know what happened.
Can you tell me who finished on the podium?
I tell you, finished on the podium. Oh, well, if I remember the last few laps, it was Lando obviously winning it. And there was Oscar running in second, he went off the grass, he spun off, made a tractor out of his car, and he didn't finish on the podium, unfortunately for him. Who did finish on the podium then? That's a trick. I think Max did finish on the podium.
He did.
Due to the fact that Oscar went off. And the third place was then Russell.
Well done, Robert Doornbos.
Oh, nice.
I was trying to trip you up early this season, but you're absolutely
I'm happy I took an espresso this morning.
Lando, Max, George Russell were the top three. Listen, there's an awful lot to get our heads around. We were talking off air. I was in conversation with a couple of executives from Formula One recently about the fact, the growth of the sport.
Yeah,
I think 4 in every 5 new fans coming to Formula One are female. The explosion of it is quite incredible. There will be an awful lot of us, myself included, that need to get our heads around a couple of new buzzwords and phrases for 2026. I mean, this is, Robert, with the greatest of respects, this is Super Mario Karts.
Yeah, this is mega. This is too much.
So we've got overtake mode, which has replaced DRS.
Yeah.
We've got boost mode, which is straight out of Super Mario Karts.
Sounds the same, to be honest.
It's ridiculous.
Banana mode, you can throw a banana as well.
Not far off it. You've got active aero. Now that's
aero.
one I want to zoom in on because this is the true game changer. For the uninitiated, myself included, break active aero down for us.
Well, active suspension we had in the 90s, which was quite different when Adrian Newey found a way of just sticking a computer on a Formula One car that measures the ride height and it would move the car up and down for the perfect ride height for each corner. That was really from another level. Over the years, aerodynamics have become hugely important. Formula One cars, 80% of the downforce comes from the aerodynamic package. That gives you the feeling to brake that late. That gives you the feeling to carry so much speed around corners. Active aero is basically moving your front wing and your rear wing at the same time with the press of a button on your steering wheel. It obviously gives you more straight line speed. It gives you less grip in the corners, so don't move it in the corners. You can't, actually, it's locked, but you will definitely spin off straight away. DRS was getting a little bit boring. DRS was drag reduction system. Basically, if you were within 1 second of your competitor on a straight line, you could just open up the rear wing and you can gain 15 to 20 kilometers extra speed. Now there's active aero, which means you can, on different parts of the track, you can use more of this aerodynamic straight line speed. But on the other hand, the guy in front of you can do it at the same time. So how will overtaking look in 2026? Nobody really knows, Chris.
And the other thing I'm worried about, I want to get to this boost mode. And I'm actually kind of reading verbatim here. A driver deployed maximum power setting from the energy recovery system. And this is what Max Verstappen, more than any other, has an awful lot of trouble with because there's the yin and yang.
Yeah.
You've got to be storing energy as you go around the track here, ultimately. And that is not, by its nature, according to Max and many others, kind of myself included, that's not Formula One racing.
No. And to be honest, it's like with money. You can only spend it once. With your battery storage, you can only use it once per lap. And you have to understand very well where you're going to do it. It's going to be different in qualifying than in racing situations, because in qualifying you will use it on a long straight, for example, or when the track goes a bit uphill. But in racing conditions, you can use it to defend or to attack. But if your battery is down, and that's what I noticed in Bahrain, the speed difference, it's huge.
Is it?
It's huge. So therefore, I understand the worry about some drivers that say, okay, guys, this is going to be mayhem at the start. Because if you have a proper launch with the new turbos and the battery deployment, it's going to be it's super fast. And if you mess up your turbocharger at the start, you're going to be slow at the getaway. And you have the guy that starts last might pass you into turn one. So that's going to be something else. Down the main straight, I noticed in Bahrain that there was a draft, a slipstream. The guy would use his battery. The moment he got next to the car in front of him, his battery would be drained. So you go and have to go back again, which it just doesn't sound like F1 how it should be. But at the end of the day, it's changed. In 2014, there were the hybrid engines. We also got used to that. But you don't want to have one OEM have the competitive advantage, huge advantage over the others.
I remember talking to you at the back end of the podcast on season 1, and you were talking about these changes. I must admit, I'm enthused listening to you. We talked the words kind of chaos and carnage.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, they might not be on the limit, but if you're telling me batteries are going to be, they're going to have to it's going to be Absolutely. It's going to be the Wild West.
It's a good reason to tune in on Sunday morning.
The biggest thing, though, that you did say, and I think it's a worry for a lot of F1 fans, is just as we closed up the field in 2025, we're now stringing them out. There are going to be huge discrepancies in times.
Yeah, and you should just reward the teams that understand the rules better than anybody else. If you've done well, then good for you. But you do get, with new rules and regulations, you do get bigger gaps between the teams. And that can be, I wouldn't say boring to watch, but in 2014 we had only 2 drivers fighting for a world championship, and they were from the same team. Because they were just miles ahead of anybody else. In this case, it was Mercedes. And I also predicted that Mercedes would have a great engine in this new era. But don't forget about new manufacturers. We have Audi, for example. They sound completely different.
Yeah, you were telling me this.
Completely different. So you can close your eyes and say, okay, this is normal. This is a various team. Audi, you just hear when they lift off the throttle, their turbo sounds different than anybody else. So I mean, they might have been sandbagging. They can be good. They can be cause a surprise.
I want to get to that word sandbagging in just a minute. But is that Audi difference good different or bad different? We don't know.
Time will tell. Time will tell.
But you can tell.
With your eyes closed, you can say, okay, this is an Audi engine. And also in the starting procedure, because I was at the end of the pit lane in Bahrain, that's where the place where all the drivers can practice a start. I've never seen so many practice starts in winter testing before, because they really try to understand the new rules, how to engage this turbo. Ferrari, for example, takes 12 seconds on the limiter before it actually launches off. So the start procedure will sound different. It will definitely sound different.
Come on, you were in Bahrain. You've been nice. I want to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that people tune in and watch this podcast for. It's for you putting yourself in trouble, Robert. You did it with Jos last season.
Yeah, he's going to join the podcast though, he promised.
Well, I think he's just saying that to keep you away from saying anything controversial. But give us the juicy gossip. You were in Bahrain.
The juicy gossip, I mean, Fernando Alonso, our legendary Fox, 2-time world champion, he was so excited getting Adrian Newey on board, getting Lawrence Stroll, invest billions. This new state-of-the-art facility in England, Aston Martin.
Wind tunnel.
On paper, it's the best team out there, right? With the investments, with the amount of people they hired and the engine behind them. But it all went wrong in Bahrain. The atmosphere just went below zero. I tried to give a fist pump to Fernando. I got like this really soft, whatever, mate. I said, what's going on? And then he started in Spanish talking to Pedro de la Rosa, who was an ambassador of the team. Like, can I say this or can I not say this?
The dictaphone came out.
But what I understood is that he's so depressed because they were 4.5 seconds off the pace. And this is not how Formula One should be. Formula One should be, technology should be on the edge. The car should be on fire. Don't forget, Pirelli also brought the smaller tires for this year. So even that, it's about tire management, engine storage management. Yeah, it becomes a bit like, I understand the comparison, Formula E 2.0. And nobody wants to see that.
Do you understand
I do understand the comment from Max, and he's just honest. This is the way he is. And I do get it, because you want to get out of a Formula One car sweating and feeling the adrenaline pumping through your body and not thinking, okay, I really challenge my brain a lot of knowing when to use the battery.
But that's a skill in itself, Rob.
Of course, you have to be the best in it's for everybody the same at the end of the day. So you still want to be the best in your job. You want to be the best in your job. Max and all the other drivers want to be the best in their job. So you get on with it. But I understand. It's like your first date night, So you meet this girl and then by the time she arrives, she looks different than on the picture. And you're like, what happened?
Catfished you.
Yeah.
I think you've been there a few times, Rob, in your career. But I've got to ask, you've said Fernando Alonso was incredibly down. When you think back to his career, I know he's a 2-time world champion.
But it's been a long time ago.
But, and I can't quite believe I'm saying this, and I'll get ridiculed for it, but I'll put the question to you. Talk about being unlucky in a career. He's moved to teams. He's made it a bit of an art form, moving to teams
at the wrong time.
Yeah. He could have won an awful lot more.
Yeah. He was very close with Ferrari, of course, to winning a championship there. But then McLaren was really at the wrong. But can you imagine? Do you remember at McLaren how he said goodbye to the Honda engine behind him? He called them a Formula 2 engine, GP2 engine, and now they're like, "Hi Honda, you're back again." So it's Karma.
And how bad is it? Because we had David Coulthard on the show, on the pod. He talked about, when we asked the question to him last year, who's going to win it in 2026, the one to watch. And I think we were all getting a bit caught up. The Adrian Newey story.
Yeah.
Of course, he is a technical whiz. He's a guru. He's a genius. Whatever adjective you want to use to describe him.
Mr. Einstein of Formula 1.
Mr. Einstein of Formula 1. Beautifully put.
Basically, yeah.
That's a great short out of that, Robert, is what you've done there. You've got Fernando. You've got the new facility, the new wind tunnel. You've got Lawrence Stroll's, not millions, but billions.
Mm-hmm.
You think to yourself, right, this is brilliant. Aston Martin are going to do this. How deep are the problems? You were there, you saw it. How bad is it really?
Well, if it really continues like it does now, it will probably be the fastest way to become from a billionaire a millionaire for Mr. Lawrence Stroll, because you're just going to burn so much money in a project that cannot catch up. Formula One is a fast-moving world. If you're not there at winter testing, it's already going to be a challenge to be there at the end of the year on a decent pace. So, they will have a very long season ahead of them. Nobody expected this.
It's that bad.
It's that bad.
And again, we questioned it. And I know people are going to say, oh, hindsight, come on, 2020 vision and all that. But Adrian Newey's team principle never made sense on paper to me.
No.
It sounded like, is he not taking on a bit too much here? And now you got Jenson Button on the payroll. You wish you'd have got that gig, Robert.
I'm so happy to sit here on the couch with you.
Nonsense. We don't pay you that well. But you got Jenson now almost as the mouthpiece to allow Adrian to do what he is.
Sort of the ambassador of the team, but at the end of the day, an ambassador is not joining the FIA meetings or the FOM meetings, So as a team principal, there's a bit maybe too much, You should be the head designer. He's been doing that job for 3 decades, Adrian. A mega job. Why would you also want to be team principal? I didn't get that either, to be honest. And I missed the big team principals like a Flavio, Netflix just came out with the new Drive to Survive season 8. And you see the personalities. And to be honest, I mean, Adrian is a great personality in his design world, but maybe as a team principal, we need somebody else
and there was
more
no
outspoken.
Fist bumping. There was no fist bumping with a certain Lawrence Stroll. You were telling me a bear,
very grumpy
bear,
head. Very grumpy. Yeah, because of course you can be pissed. And the thing is, you have your OEM, your exclusive engine partner is in Japan. It's not like you have it around the corner. Look at Red Bull. They decided to build their own engines. I mean, Red Bull's great in building energy drinks. They've done that for decades. But to build your own engine and to take the fight with OEMs like Ferrari, Mercedes, that have been doing this for 70 years. Everybody was all eyes on Red Bull in Bahrain, and they've done the most reliable laps out of anybody almost. Really big applause for them, how they approach the new season.
You know who has been quiet around as we look at the kind of teams that we expect? I mean, from everything that I'm reading, we're expecting Mercedes. You've said it's like a rocket ship. We're expecting Ferrari, we'll come on to them.
Yeah.
We're expecting Red Bull, some really good kind of, I guess, uptick. A lot of people maybe a little surprised at how well they've done in pre-season testing. I'm not reading an awful lot on McLaren.
No. Everybody thinks it's because they won the championship 2 years in a row, and as a constructors, they will be up there. But don't forget, they've been pushed until the last race by Red Bull because the championship was decided in Abu Dhabi. So how much of that time was in their preparation for 2026? There will be a sort of a open box for them to tick. But at the end of the day, they'll be there. They'll be fast. Changes, yes, behind the scenes. Oscar Piastri, management change with Mark Webber. That is not going to be on track anymore.
And that's not been reported widely.
It was sort of an inside thing there. Mark is discovered the talent of Oscar at a young age. OP, that's what they call him. In Formula 2. Formula 2, he did a mega job and they pushed him into F1. I think at the end of the day, and that was sort of the paddock rumors as well, that Oscar was not happy with the way Mark reacted to the whole pushing Lando towards the championship.
In he didn't feel that Mark was strong
enough, to really get your fist on the table and stand in front of the driver. On the other side, as a driver, look at what Max does. Max doesn't need a manager who hits on the table because he does it himself.
He does it himself, yeah.
So I think that changed a lot for Oscar's perspective within the team.
But given what we know, Mark and his wife took Oscar in. They were a surrogate family in a lot of ways. Could that then be something to keep an eye on in terms of Oscar, how comfortable he is, not necessarily in the car in 2026, but how comfortable he is in life.
In life, I think on the sort of commercial side and personal side, they will still be there. But on the active side, on track, on the performance side, he's going to need somebody else. And he actually invited his former Formula 2 engineer from Prema, Italian guy. He's going to help him with, bits and pieces on track to make sure he gets the best performance week in, week out.
You've been on ChatGPT, get a CV done, Rob?
Yeah, no, I'm busy. I'm busy enough.
No, you're not. Oh, no, listen, you clearly are. With a humble abode here, you are a busy man in many things, but it's going to be fascinating to see, Oscar. I'm really intrigued by McLaren.
Yeah.
But, and I know, and you read the comments that we get on social media saying, guys, you two are a bit too much of fanboys for Ferrari. And I think we've said, and we always agree.
Come on, everybody at the end of the day is a little bit of a Ferrari fan.
You have to
F1 without a Ferrari winning, or at least fighting for wins, is not really F1, if you ask me.
Are we expecting them to be back? We've been saying this for years. 2007, Kimi Räikkönen, the last time that the Scuderia won a world championship.
Unbelievable.
I find it mental.
Almost 20 years ago.
Almost 20 years ago since Ferrari won a driver's championship. Yeah. Lewis Hamilton has come out to say he's fitter than ever. Yeah. I mean, it was like a Rocky montage. I don't know if you saw his Instagram.
The video. He's ripped.
Absolutely.
It's impressive, after so many years in Formula One, to still motivate yourself coming from a season like last year. I mean, where Lewis was far from the Lewis we all know him. He got a lot of shit as well. Even from his bosses at Ferrari, they were very disappointed.
But we criticise his negativity.
Yeah, his negativity was a bit too much. Now life changed. I mean, he's fitter than ever. He has a new girlfriend. Probably everybody should get a Kim Kardashian before the season. He looks the part. He's ready for it. He's ready for it. I was honored enough to speak with Piero Ferrari. He's the only living son still of Enzo Ferrari, of the legend. And he was there all 3 days. The 80-year-old billionaire from Italy. He still owns like 10% of the Formula Ferrari heritage.
And you got FaceTime with him.
I spoke to him in the paddock. I just went over. You know me. I'm quite ballsy.
Forward.
Yeah, quite forward. I was like, "Hi, I'm Robert. Yes. Do you remember me?" He said yes, but I don't think he remembers me. But I just polished up my Italian and had a nice chat with him. And he said, "We're so excited within the factory. Everybody, we got, put new people in place. Not everybody saw it necessarily what happened on the inside. We're ready. If it doesn't happen this year, then we have a big problem."
He said that.
Yeah. So,
okay, that's a bit of an exclusive.
Yeah.
Are you paraphrasing?
Very excited.
You're swallowing hard there, Robert. Did he say that?
Yes. No, definitely. If it doesn't happen this year, we have a big problem. And I agree with him, because they have one of the best drivers. They have Charles Leclerc.
2 of the best drivers.
Yeah, 2 of the best drivers. So they have a 7-time world champion. They have Charles Leclerc, who's been their long-term project, and he hasn't been winning a lot recently. Can you imagine? He's been with Ferrari for so many years. He only has a few Grand Prix victories. I'm sure he's up for it. He just got married, Mr. Leclerc.
I did see that.
That's happy wife,
married,
happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. You're not wrong on that front. I am intrigued by that dynamic, because we talked about it. Lewis has unwanted history. Yeah. The longest run of not getting on a podium for Ferrari, for a 7-time world champion. We talked about what that could do to his legacy. But the fact he looks enthused, the dynamic there. Last year we had the Oscar Lando kind of narrative. Yeah. Who's the number one? Who's going to emerge?
Nice. Everybody starts from zero now.
I wonder this year at Ferrari.
Everybody starts from zero. Lewis has a new performance engineer, new race engineer. It changed a lot of people around him. I think pure pace-wise, Charles Leclerc is very fast. He's still very fast. Over a single lap, he's really good.
He'll still be for you
But racing-wise, I mean, come on, Lewis. He has this experience of fighting for a championship for so many years. If the car is good enough, he might. We've seen also Charles making a lot of mistakes in the past. So, interesting.
He's come out to say it's fun to drive these cars. I think the fact there are more kind of, what do you call them, the more variables, if you will. The fact there is more to do in the cockpit.
Yeah, then a driver should be able to make more of a difference.
This is it. I think it's re-energized Lewis in a lot of ways. I think he's quite enjoyed learning.
Also, probably because he knows it's his last season.
You think?
Yeah, if it doesn't happen this year, I don't see him on the grid in 27.
He's done.
Yeah, then he's done. If he has another year like he had last year, then we see the last year of Lewis.
A lot of people tune in, watch us and watch you, not me, but they come on for your insights, Robert. Lewis, they are talking about the fact that he is fitter than ever for 2026. Yeah. Give us an insight into an off-season for you F1 drivers, because the necks are already the size of houses.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at yours now.
Well, now it's sort of normal, but in
but
the past, when you had to buy a shirt, it was like shirt size 45, and the rest of the body was 40. So
Custom
the
made.
neck looks custom made. So the guy was, "Are you sure the measurements are right?" You look a bit weird, but you need this. You need to prepare in the winter for the season to come.
It's all about stamina. What are you working on?
They have to be light, lean, mean, and fit, right? So it's all about swimming, endurance, cycling, running, neck training a lot, cardio, core. You saw some exercises of Lewis that you think, okay, that's quite impressive. Diet to make sure you're not overweight.
I know. What can I say?
Williams has a big problem,
I'm
like
eating
I
my
said.
feelings right now, Robert. You can forgive me for that.
You're sitting inside. Weight is a big issue. I know the engineers, they want to be that you're really on your preferred weight, or for them it's the preferred weight. For you, it's maybe something else. But because 1 kilo of ballast is just lap time that you throw out of the window.
They are like jockeys. I've said it. When I look at them, and we were up close and personal with them down at the Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, all of them do look like jockeys, apart from one. You know where I'm going with this?
Well,
he's too tall for me.
Is it George or Nico?
George.
Even Nico Hülkenberg is a big boy.
He's
still.
a big boy, but
George is tall. Yeah,
it's
George
like
is really tall. Yeah, it's like a giraffe with the long legs.
Like, sorry, George, but he looks like the giraffe from Madagascar. We've all seen that movie. He is a bit.
You have
like
another
that.
short now.
Well, he's the bookmaker's favorite though.
He's the book. Well, he looks like a bookmaker, and he's the bookmaker's favorite.
Yeah, but if you
he looks like really comfortable in Bahrain. I saw him walking around the paddock, with his chest up.
His posture is second to none.
His posture is great. We can work on that. Like, I feel like I have to sit more up straight if I talk about George.
Me too.
And then you see Kimi walking behind him. It's like his little brother running around. And,
scuttling.
But also he was very fast in Bahrain. He produced some lap times quite easily. They were up there. So expect both of them to fight.
But from what you're seeing, and again, we come back to that word sandbagging. Again, for those of you that aren't aware of it, sandbagging is
nothing to do with being in the desert.
No,
nothing.
Or protecting your home or business from a flood. Sandbagging, it's essentially
just showing your true potential.
This is it. I liken it to Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope, the famous rope-a-dope tactic, where you're trying to lull your opponent into false sense of security, and then bam, it's done. Sandbagging.
That's why they always say, testing is great. Now with the GPS signals, they can really say, okay, this guy, he's running less fuel, he's running more fuel, Max is lifting on the straight, or you can analyze it, but you can also overanalyze it. At the end of the day, qualifying Saturday in Melbourne, we'll see where everybody is, and especially on Sunday on race day.
On that, I just want to direct all of our listeners, viewers, if you are watching this on the YouTube, it is the Pit Talk Pod, incidentally. We had an exclusive interview with Mika Hakkinen, two-time F1 World Champion. That's available to watch wherever you get your podcasts. And I was blown away by one thing he said.
He had some nice remarks. He
was brilliant. But I'm talking about way back in those late 1990s with McLaren.
Yeah.
The car was running at 50% because they were that fast.
Well, the engine, they had to lower their RPMs. Yeah, they were
flying. They had an agreement, did Mika and David, whoever got
first to the first corner, he can win the race. Yeah, but if you would have a problem, but can you imagine running in second, knowing that if you push a little bit more, you can easily overtake him? But they were very dominant in those years. Yeah.
I mean, that water position. You've been in Formula One.
No, but it's just crazy if you think about it, that you cannot go flat out. We all know about the word fuel saving. Fuel saving is also something they have to do this year still. Even though they have to manage the battery, they also have to manage their fuel, which means lift and coast.
This is it, sustainable fuel as well. And I always reference, and we did so at the back end of the podcast last year, Gunther Steiner, of course. Anyone that watches Drive to Survive will know Gunther loves to drop an F-bomb. From our Haas team principal, he was talking, you can forget the chassis, forget the engines, forget the drivers. The biggest point of difference in 2026 will be the renewable fuel.
The renewable fuel.
That's where he feels this championship will be won and lost.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you also need an engine to work properly to be able to use this sustainable fuel. But yes, the combustion engine is smaller, so the amount of fuel that it takes in, it's even more important that it's... and Formula One is also working on the sustainability model, and getting that fuel in the championship is a big one. But, the big teams work with the big oil companies already. We have Shell with Ferrari and Exxon with Red Bull. So.
And that's it. I think we get caught up in the sporting aspect of it.
No, but there's so much more going on behind the scenes in preparation. So everybody plays their part. Even the IT partners of all these Formula One teams, they play a crucial role in building the right software to find the perfect pit stop in a Grand Prix. And you know, the AI is coming into F1. It's more than just race cars with 4 wheels and an engine.
Now, of course, we'll only know come this weekend and then into the races, 24 of them between now and December. But coming away from Bahrain, getting back on your first class and your flight back to Dubai,
I was folded up like this.
Hey, listen.
Hey. Well, you are always folded up. Can you mention George? Oh, he won't fly that
No,
anymore.
George is in the private jet. But coming away from Bahrain, truthfully, did you come away enthused, excited, or were you a bit like, oh, this isn't F1?
Enthused, excited, because the season is about to start. And I can see you again for podcast number 2, season number 2, the Pit Talk. But very also excited about these new rules, how it will look at the end of the day on grid. Because testing, again, is something else than racing. I was happily surprised to see some teams already working on their setups instead of just focusing on the engine. But I'm a little bit worried about the starting procedures and about this batteries working properly. You know, that can harm Formula One on the sportive side. You want to see the drivers push the limits, push the boundaries. The good thing is that Melbourne is a very special circuit. They have 4 seasons in one day. It can rain, it can shine, the sun can shine, it can be cold and warm. So lots of factors to throw in. Anyway, you have to just tune in to see the end result.
One of the aspects we did enjoy last year, aside from the tussle and the battle for the Drivers' Championship, was the rookies. Isaac Hadjar is now with Red Bull. I want to touch on him. We had Kimi Antonelli. The one that I loved, certainly in the middle part of the season, was Bortoleto. Yeah. This year, just one rookie, the 4th youngest in F1 history, Arvid Lindblad. Let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Of course, he is someone there's an awful lot of buzz around. He's joining forces with Liam Lawson. Are you expecting a lot from this young man, the youngest to a podium on Formula 2?
The youngest to get a podium in Formula 2, Arvid Lindblad. Yeah, Red Bull protege. I mean, Helmut, it was his last little trick to throw him into F1 and then say goodbye to F1. We all know that Helmut Marko won't be there anymore in the paddock, or maybe as a guest one day. But Arvid Lindblad, he did the most amount of laps on the final day of testing, which means physically he's ready for it. He did like 3 Grand Prix distances almost in one day. Is he going to be up for it? I mean, Red Bull gives young talent a chance to fly. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot to learn in this year. If you're going to be a rookie, might as well be a rookie when the new era starts, because it's you have a lot of excuses why it didn't work then probably. Surprising to see this young talent.
Does he carry himself well? What's he like?
I think so. I think media-wise, everybody likes him already. The way he talks about the sport himself and shoving away the pressure. And the good thing is, if you make your debut at the junior team of Red Bull, which I drove for as well, at the end of the day, it's there's not that much pressure than when you're Isaac Hadjar. You're a teammate of Max Verstappen at the big team.
But I like Isaac. I know
Isaac is a great guy.
We talked a lot about him, and obviously last year there was the trials and tribulations of Liam Lawson and Yuki came into that Red Bull. They were lame ducks. Yeah. They were. I mean, Yuki's no longer an F1, for goodness sake.
Well, he's a reserve driver for Red Bull, but his car got on fire.
He's not.
Did you see that?
I didn't see
that. He was doing a demo in the US, and he was just making donuts, and he couldn't stop making donuts, and his car caught fire. And he jumped out. Great shots of Yuki standing in all the smoke. But no, his role this year will be lots of donuts and not eating donuts, but driving around the circles,
making sure
and be there if something happens.
But is Isaac? I'll say it, Robert. It's the question that people will be asking. Does he have the cojones?
Yeah, he was a bit, I wouldn't say cocky, but he walks around the paddock like, I can do this. I'm up for the challenge with Max. So let's see if he crumbles like any of the other teammates did at the end of the day. I mean, that's not the goal of Max to destroy your teammate. But if also for Isaac, if there's a certain year you should make your debut next to Max Verstappen, this is the year. Because at least everything is new. You start really from scratch. Like last year, Max was on fire. There was no way that there was anybody on the grid that could keep up with him in the same car.
I don't want to oust you here, but you were I had a long conversation with Jos Verstappen, father of Max.
Yeah.
Max, the ultimate poker face down in Abu Dhabi, little shrug of the shoulders, tried my best. I've got 4 of them. Doesn't really matter. I'll be back next year.
My longevity in F1 doesn't help. There's new rules, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
He was giving off the vibe. I tried my best. Hey, listen, we go on and fight another day.
But that's him.
Which is an amazing mentality to have. That was going to be my question, though. Surely, Robert, he's competitive. He was a little bit peeved that he came up just short. Or it's what we saw from Max legit.
From last year, that he just came short. No, I think he threw it. That's gone. Done and dusted. New chapter. Because there's nothing you can change. Yes, did he make a mistake in Barcelona? Did he had a 6-7 fuse that didn't really work well? 6-7.
Sorry.
He drove. You have kids, right?
I've got kids.
Kids.
Still.
You're still a kid as well.
Exactly.
But looking back at 24 races, you can say, "Oh, I lost 2 points there." That's also racing. I mean, he's gutted for one night, and then the whole season is gone. That's also Max. At the end of the day, now he has new opportunity to go for another championship. He also has this other project. He's a sim racing. He's going to do 24 hours of Nürburgring. So he's a busy man.
And I tell you what, he deserves some shares in Formula E because he mentioned them.
Boom.
Formula E on steroids. I then saw the CEO of Formula E. I forget the gentleman's name, but he was then doing the rounds, being asked about, Max is just like in F1 Formula E on steroids. Your thoughts?
But that's even what Stefano Domenicali said in Bahrain, guys. The drivers. There was a certain meeting where drivers were introduced or instructed to not to be too negative, of course, about these new rules.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it doesn't help the F1 world.
So he pulled them in.
Yeah, he pulled them in. There was a meeting, also with the team principals, but also with the drivers. Just guys, not be too negative. Please share your thoughts with me if there's something I should push the FIA towards. And there are now rumors that after a few races, the FIA might decide to lower the battery power because it asks so much energy to be charged 100%. That you don't want it to become a battery championship. It has to be in.
Well, that's it. Because I've seen a lot of comments on the message boards
you don't want.
saying that this is essentially battery kind of recovery championship.
That wouldn't be a good
battery management championship. And that's not what Formula One is.
No.
You want it, as you said at the top of this podcast, you want it screaming.
Yeah, you want to feel a little bit your butthole as well. Like, okay, I need to?
Don't go there. Yeah. Don't go there.
No, I shouldn't go there. But you need to feel scared a little bit driving these cars.
That's what I was looking for. Right, 10 teams to 11 teams.
Yeah.
Cadillac in.
Yeah, Cadillac in.
Interesting kind of release.
I'm not sure about the American touch there, because if you look at Cadillac, they have a team based in the UK. They have a Mexican and a Finnish driver behind the wheel with an Italian engine.
But they did tick the box, you saw the car reveal.
Yes.
$7.3 million to reveal it during the halftime of Super Bowl.
Mega.
I mean, I do
Mega.
off my cap at that. But are they going to be?
They probably thought it will be an Olympic season. Just the thought counts that we actually make it from race to race and we do our laps. No points on the table for us this year. But looking at where Aston Martin is, they might have a chance to be not that lost.
Is that genuinely where Aston Martin are going to be?
Yeah, they were slowest in Bahrain. I mean, Cadillac was pushing it on the softest compounds at one stage on the red tire just to get a maximum out of it, to see what the potential is. And then they were also still 2 seconds off the pace. And I think Bottas will have the edge on Perez, because Bottas has been recently in cars. Perez has been taking a year siesta. So see how that goes. But great to have another 2 cars on the track.
Well, that's it. 22 now.
Yeah.
And Audi as well taking over from Sauber. Are they going to be competitive?
Yeah, I spoke to Jonathan Wheatley. He's the team principal there. He used to work for Red Bull for 20 years. Now he moved to Audi Sauber. New outfits. Everybody looks motivated, ready for the season. And they know they have a good power unit. I think that's already a very comfortable start. And it was a moving train. It's not like you build a new team from scratch. So Audi is definitely a team that will cause a surprise. I think maybe 1 or 2 podiums for them this year. I'm
excited just talking to you about this. Yeah. It's going to be an incredible season because of the unknown elements.
Definitely.
The words chaos and carnage we touched on. The first few races, Robert, you're expecting it to be...
Well, then we have Melbourne, we have China straight after, then we have Japan. Japan is really a high downforce track. There you can see a big difference on the aero side as well. Which car is good? We will never know, I think, if the AMR26, the Aston Martin, if it really is a good aerodynamically car, unfortunately, because the engine is...
Will they get there? There'll be a lot of people...
Well, hopefully, because I think Adrian really, if you look at the design of the car, he really thought outside of the box. And that's what everybody was hoping for, that the engineers from the other teams would think, hey, we missed this. Why is the suspension built this way? And I really hope that they can show the true potential on the aerodynamic and mechanical side.
Because with all these different changes, I'm told that Ferrari's, front wing completely rotates.
No, the rear wing.
The rear wing.
Front wing might happen this year as well if they have a crash. Yeah. But the rear wing completely rotates. That was another moment in Bahrain that everybody thought, hey, what's going on? We have been sleeping. They lose a little bit of performance because they turn more than 180 degrees. They make like a full rotation. They lose a bit of performance while doing so, but then later on the straight, it actually generates lift, so more speed. So on places like Monza, they can be...
and the drivers have full control over that.
Yes, drivers have full control over that. Yeah, and that's also Formula One. Within the rules, designers find different ways of using or interpreting these rules. At Alpine, for example, the whole rear wing just falls down, and at Ferrari, we've seen it rotates completely. So that's still
like
also
a rotisserie.
Yeah,
it's like that.
Yeah, you can put a kebab on it.
I'm so fascinated. I said at the start, it's like Super Mario Karts. I think the first few races are going to be wacky races, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to be that.
Fingers crossed that by that time in the Middle East, it's everything's settled down and everybody's safe, and we can have races in Bahrain and Jeddah. It's not the most important thing in life. We've experienced here now as well in the recent 48 hours. But for me, it's almost the second most important than Formula One. So hopefully we can all enjoy this sport in the region.
We love a prediction.
Yeah.
Very early. We haven't even seen any of these cars.
You're going to ask who's going to be world champions? You're going to be asked.
I want it. What is it? What's the date here? Start of March.
Oh my God.
Week out. What are we looking at?
Shall we be bold and do something crazy? Maybe Kimi Antonelli has a good chance of winning a championship.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going down that route?
Why not? If he really steps up, if he's really up for the challenge, if he can beat George, otherwise George has a great chances. He's not for nothing. He's the favorite at the bookkeepers. But I think Kimi showed some potential last year to beat George. And on the other side, I truly hope that Ferrari is in the championship.
I was going to say the greatest story for Formula One this year.
Yeah, but you asked my opinion.
Where I'm going.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton and Kim Kardashian on the podium with the World Championship trophy. Yes. I think Formula One will. Yes, Kim and the trophy.
Yeah, like what Taylor Swift has done for NFL, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, can you imagine Formula One? They can't wait for Kim to show up in the paddock.
Lewis Hamilton, 8-time world champion.
7.
Ferrari.
Well, then
be an
8th. Yeah.
Standing on top of the podium.
The greatest of all time.
2026, 19 years on, to then usurp the great Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
Again, if Liberty Media are watching this, if they're script writers,
that will be a good story.
If Drive to Survive produces,
but do you think it can actually happen?
I'd like to think so. I shouldn't say this, but I've got some friendly wagers with a number of friends. I bought in to the hoopla around Lewis Hamilton when he joined Ferrari. No driver has ever won world championships with 3 different teams. I could see it. It was almost written. Last season was so bad.
So bad.
So bad.
It can only get better from now, for sure. But
his negative. We were annoyed at him last year to the point I would have given him short shrift if he came into our studios. But he's fitter, or at least he looks it. He tells us he is. I've thoroughly enjoyed his social media. I don't know. I think Formula One, the storyline this year that could take on to the next level would be a narrative that says Lewis Hamilton is back winning races and Lewis Hamilton has a genuine chance of winning an 8th title.
Exciting.
And then maybe he gets his
Let's
revenge.
Look back at this interview or this podcast in 12 months from now.
We all know it now. Lando Norris will be 2026.
Probably.
Formula One world champion. Right, Pit Talk Podcast. We are, of course, with you throughout the season. Yeah. We're going to be doing things a bit differently this year. We're going to be on the road.
Sure, they can keep following us and still, ask us questions. And
do that.
Please do so.
love to put this man on the spot. He is the man for the big occasion, so let us know.
Big year for you. You're going to be on track in Abu Dhabi for a hot lap experience.
That, I did promise our viewers and listeners last year that I would get a driver's license. I'll try this year.
Polish up my helmet and sit next to you. And then
that sounds wrong, Robert.
Oh, it does sound wrong, yeah.
Yes, you polish off that helmet and I'll be nowhere close to you when you do that. And no, all jokes aside, I will be in the car with you.
Yeah.
And your job is to try and scare me, Robert. I don't scare easy.
No.
So if the powers that
Let's
be
try this.
let you go super fast, you have my permission to do just that. We're going to be doing watch-alongs this year as well. So stay tuned to our social media channels, of course. We're going to be doing an awful lot with our partners at Thara. Chances to win great prizes this year.
Inviting Formula One friends to the podcast.
Yeah, we've got a few.
That should be fun.
Book of yours is pretty good. Just on that, I did reference it a little earlier. The Mika Hakkinen interview is live. Well worth checking that out. I wasn't sure what to expect.
He has so
with
much
Mika.
rest and calm over him when he talks about F1 and
you know what,
and still had the competitive edge because he was here to drive a rally, I think. And he was like, I still hope my car is the fastest one and I'm going to push a little bit.
That's why I loved it. And it's you Formula One drivers, you need to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
But a cool little kind of quiet arrogance about Mika Hakkinen.
Nice, huh?
You know, he talked about the fact that mentally he always felt he had it. You asked a great question, I think, what separates a great driver from a world championship one? And his answer was illuminating. He said, you cannot teach the racing line. You've either got it or you don't.
And then you're talking a few tenths here and there. You know, that's the difference.
I'm spoiling the interview. Check it out in its entirety. We're going to be back with you after every single race this season. There's going to be extra bits and pieces coming your way as well. I'm excited to be back with you, Robert.
Definitely.
The 2026 season
is about to start.
Here.
2026.
Are we round your gaff to watch the first race?
Let's watch it together. Yeah,
let's do it. I want to see how
I'll make you breakfast.
Please, former
I'm
Formula
a terrible
1 driver.
chef, so
I'll take it. Former Formula 1 driver watching the first race. I want to get up close and
live
personal
commentary. Nice.
To do just
Can
that.
we swear?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Because it will not see the light of day. Right, that is the Pit Top Podcast, powered by the good folks at Thara. Do make sure to follow us, subscribe, download us wherever you get your podcast.
Normally we would say all roads lead to Abu Dhabi, but for now all roads lead to Melbourne. Let's start with.
Well, let's start there.
Let's start there.
All roads do lead to Melbourne, the opening race of the 2026 season. We're excited. We hope you are too. And we'll be back again to review it all early next week.
Okay, now out of my office, I have to get back to work.
I'll give you a proper fist bump.
Thank you.
Cheers, Robert.
Yeah, that was a proper one.
That was a proper one.
That was proper.
Another soft.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.